This is an awful day.
A KCK detective dead.
The detective was struck several times.
And the man accused of shooting him is now in the hospital.
If I would have been out here an hour ago, it could have been me.
After a wild day that crossed both sides of the metro. There are multiple scenes in today's shooting and manhunt, and just minutes ago, police released the victim's name, Detective Brad Lancaster with KCK Police.
All of this started near the Kansas Speedway and Hollywood Casino. About 12:15 this afternoon, police say that's where Curtis Ayers shot and injured the detective and then took off. And then he carjacked a vehicle which had children in it, according to police. Officers say in Baser, he dropped that car off, then stole another vehicle. The children in the vehicle were okay. Police say then near 71 Highway in Bannister, Ayers crashed his vehicle. Officers say he tried to carjack a vehicle there. He shot a woman there, and police then say that Ayers was shot there. He's now in the hospital. Right now, northbound lanes still closed. One lane southbound is open as the investigation continues at Bannister. We have team coverage tonight from all angles of this investigation, but let's begin with Lexi Suter, who has more on the detective's death. Lexi.
Well, Mike, Detective Brad Lancaster passed away here at the University of Kansas Medical Center around 3:30 this afternoon. I'm told by his colleagues he was a husband, he was a father. Obviously, a very tragic and heartbreaking situation that unfolded. He was life-flighted here around 2 o'clock. I'm told he was shot multiple times, twice in the chest, and he was in surgery before he passed away. Now, we are working to continue to learn more information about him and maybe even speaking to the police chief tonight. I want to read you, though, a tweet that the police chief in Kansas City, Kansas just tweeted. He said, "Our detective fought a good fight, but unfortunately he died from his injuries. Thank you for the support and prayers." Mayor Mark Holland also tweeting, asking for support and prayers, not only for the community, for the police force, but for Officer Lancaster's family. Reporting in Kansas City, Lexi Suter, 41 Action News.
All right, thank you, Lexi, for that update. Now we want to get out to Tom Dempsey.
He is near the Kansas Speedway where this whole thing began and where that detective was shot. Tom, walk us through what happened where you are.
Well, Mike, as you said earlier, this whole ordeal started around 12:15 earlier today at this intersection that you can kind of see off in the distance right now. That's the intersection of 110th and Village West. KCK police got a call about suspicious activity near there. When they responded, they found ex-convict Curtis Ayers in the area. He ran across a field close by, but 4 shots were fired with a detective who was responding. The video we're showing you here is the gold Chevy Malibu the detective was in when he arrived. As you can see, there was all sorts of damage done to the car. We know multiple shots were fired and the detective was hit twice in the chest. We're told Ayers then stole the detective's unmarked car and then sped away, but he crashed just a few blocks away from here. And if you look behind me right now, this is actually the site of where that shooting happened. There's some shattered glass and some dirt tracks where those shots were fired, according to police. Again, this is on Daytona Drive, only about 100 yards away from Kansas Speedway. For the most part, it's very clear right now. There were about over a dozen police officers here earlier today, shortly after the news broke. But as you can see, all clear now, minus some police tape. But of course, again, as I said, this shooting happening very close to Kansas Speedway. You can see it off in the distance, only about 100 yards from where we're standing in that site of the shattered glass and the dirt marks. Kind of a haunting sight this evening. Reporting live in KCK, I'm Tom Dempsey, 41 Action News.
All right, Tom, thank you. Team coverage continues now with Ariel Rothfield.
She's right near 71 Highway in Bannister, where police shot the suspect, Curtis Ayers, there today. Ariel?
Chris, as we were pulling up to the scene, my photographer Aubrey and I saw an ambulance racing down 71 Highway northbound with the police escort with the suspect inside. I'm going to step out of the frame. You can see it's still a pretty active, chaotic scene. That silver car is still left alone. That's the car that the suspect Curtis Ayers was last seen driving before he tried to carjack another car and before he was shot by police. The area is still roped off as police and the crime scene unit and detectives still try and gather evidence and piece together exactly what happened. Now, around 2:30 this afternoon, Kansas City, Missouri police spotted the stolen silver Ford Focus Ayers was believed to be driving. They chased him down 71 Highway. Now, we're told Ayers got off and tried to drive east on Bannister Road when he crashed into a concrete pillar, but it wasn't over just yet. Police tell us he climbed up to the top of the overpass and attempted to carjack a woman driving in the northbound lane of 74 Highway. He shot at the woman before Kansas City, Missouri police shot at him.
This individual was very dangerous. We are so happy that this individual is in custody, and thanks to the collaboration, the hard work of our Kansas partners in law enforcement, we're so glad that this situation right now has come to an end.
The victim of the carjacking, we are told, is in stable condition. As far as weapons go, police will not specify what type of gun or how many guns Ayers had, but did confirm no handgun was used. As you can see, police and the crime scene detectives still taking a lot of measurements. They're collecting evidence. We've seen a lot of detectives going back and forth Bannister Road, carrying big paper bags filled with evidence. Right now, as you mentioned earlier, 71 highway northbound lanes are closed. One lane is open southbound, but this area of Bannister Road is closed and will remain closed for the remainder of the time. We'll let you know when this area opens back up, but police tell us it won't be for a while. Reporting live in Kansas City, Missouri, Ariel Rothfield, 41 Action News.
All right, Ariel, thanks for that. I want to give you a live look from SkyTracker over the scene of those northbound lanes being blocked off. As Ariel just mentioned, northbound blocked off, southbound one lane getting by. Bannister also blocked off as they continue to investigate the vehicle. The suspect apparently ran up from underneath the overpass, came up onto the roadway, as Ariel mentioned, and tried to carjack a woman who did get shot in the shoulder during that. And so they are doing their due diligence. They're investigating the scene up on 71.
Well, here's what we know. Curtis Ayers has been in trouble before. We found several convictions in his past. They include running from law enforcement, abandoning a child younger than 16, and drug charges as well. He was just released from custody this past January.